Hi friends, I'm Victoria and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go through some of my wish list books or books that sound perfect for Halloween. These are going to be more cozy, they're going to be more YA, middle grade, and just ones that are not scary and just have a little bit of a fun, wholesome vibe to them. I think of these books kind of along the lines of how Hocus Pocus or like Halloween Town makes you feel, that kind of thing, but in a book. I haven't read any of these. These are all going to be new to me and on my list that I hope I can maybe get to. I will for sure get to some of these this year, most likely not all of them, but there's quite a few that I'm excited about that are on my wish list. So I'm gonna get right into that. We have a adult fiction, little cozy mystery, and it is called Death Overdue by Alison Brooke. I mean, look at this cover. That for sure screams Halloween, and it says that this is an enthralling series debut featuring a librarian who solves mysteries with the help of a ghost in the stacks. That sounds so good. I mean, I just love the idea of a librarian, the atmosphere with a bookshop or a library, and then ghosts are there in the library helping her solve a mystery. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Give it to me. I mean, I'm sure these are one of those really easy, probably like silly, kind of campy, cozy mysteries, and I'm totally fine with that. I definitely think that there are times when I'm really wanting exactly that kind of thing. So I think this sounds super cute, and I hope it's good because then maybe every year around Halloween, I might read like the next one and keep the whole thing going. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Last Witch by Lisa Puckett. This is a middle grade book about a witch who is just not very good at being a witch. Adelaide Good has never been good enough. Everyone knows she's the weakest witch born to the Good family in centuries. And now her mom is betraying her in the worst way possible, abandoning her in Cranberry Hollow, where she has no friends at all, for 3 whole months. And she's pushing her to compete in a town Halloween pageant. Oh no. So this just sounds cute, wholesome. Since it's over 3 months, it sounds like it's right in the spooky season. So I am excited about this. I love the idea of a Halloween pageant as well. So I think it'll just be a sweet, good time. Next, we have The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I'm sure you've heard about this one before. It's kind of been all over the place, but it's by Sangu Mandana. I hope I'm saying that correctly. But it's supposed to be like a really cozy, heartwarming book, a little bit of romance in there. But it says it's a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. And I do think that this is adult fiction, so if you're not into the YA stuff, but I've heard great things about this. I think it will be nice and cozy about witches, and how can you go wrong there? Next one is another middle grade, and it's called Embassy of the Dead, and it's by Will Mabbitt. This is a trilogy. They're all really short. This first one is only 4 hours, so if you're looking for something to like knock out in a night or just something to throw in between reading like a lot of really intense horror stuff, I think this would be a great one for that. So it says that Jake Green is dead, or he might as well be, when he mistakenly accepts a package from the Embassy of the Dead in this hilarious adventure of the afterlife, the first in the series. So it sounds like there's these kids, something happens, they're caught between here and the afterlife, and there's hijinks and things that they have to do to solve this issue and to stay in the real world. That sounds fun and cute. I love the idea of this, like almost like Stranger Things in the sense of like an underworld area, but just very easygoing and not so intense. So I think this sounds like a cute read. This one has been on my list for a minute, and I didn't get to it last year for Halloween, so I'm definitely going to try to prioritize it this year. And that's Hollowed Out by Barbara Ross, another great cover. And it says that Halloween takes on a whole new meaning in the coastal town of Boozman's Harbor, Maine, when a seasonal activity turns fatal. So it sounds like we're gonna have like the atmosphere of like a fall festival or something like that, and then a murder happens. So it's another cozy mystery, but it says with its history of hauntings and ghost sightings, Boozman's Harbor is the perfect setting for Halloween festivities. Despite her busy schedule, Julia agrees to help out with a haunted house tour to protect her mother from overwhelming herself. But when a reenactment of a Prohibition-era gangster's murder ends with a literal bang and a dead actor from New Jersey, Julia Snowden must identify a killer before she ends up sleeping with the fishes. I just think that sounds so funny and entertaining, and I'm excited about that. I can't wait to give this a read, and I am definitely gonna prioritize that one this year. Next up, we have a YA horror thriller, and it's called It Found Us by Lindsay Curry. It says that a new spooky mystery about a girl detective who must decode a series of ominous clues tied to a century-old tragedy to find a missing teenager before it's too late. And it sounds like these kids were hanging out in a graveyard and one of them disappears. So I love that aspect of it. I love that things in graveyards. I think that's super interesting and perfect for the season. I did get a copy of this on NetGalley, so it is on the top of my list, and I'm sure I will be reading this at some point this season. Next up, we have Watch Hollow by Gregory Funaro. Now, this is a middle grade, I believe middle grade, yeah. This is a middle grade, like, fantasy suspense and might have some mystery in there, but it says it brings us into a world where magic exists, monsters roam in the shadows, and wooden animals come to life. Okay, that's interesting. That caught me off guard. It says, deep within the enchanted woods of the town of Watch Hollow stands the once grand Blackford House. Those halls hold a magical secret. Okay, so it sounds like we're gonna get some really good ambiance here. We got forest, we got an old house, and lots of things going on. So I am excited about it. I think this sounds really cute. Also, the cover looks awesome. So all thumbs up for me. Now we have In the Company of Witches. This is a adult fiction cozy mystery, and it is by Ara Lee Wallace. Ara Lee, what a cool name. I like that. But it says, when a guest dies in the B&B she helps her aunt run, a young witch must rely on some good old-fashioned investigating to clear her aunt's name in this magical and charming new cozy mystery. I think that sounds so cute and so fun. I'm excited about this, and that just sounds adorable. Like, how could you not like that? It's also in New England, so another thumbs up for me. Now we have another middle grade mystery, and it is called Whispering Pines by Heidi Lang and Katie Bartkowski. It says Stranger Things meets the X-Files in this eerie, heart-pounding middle grade adventure about a young boy and girl who must protect their small town from otherworldly forces. It also says that several kids go missing and they show back up as zombies. So there's a zombie element here, which I think is really fun. I love that. And it just sounds like a good time, wholesome. It's gonna have like the suspense there, a little bit of fantasy too maybe. So sounds good. Next up, we have another YA middle grade, and that is The Stitchers by Lorian Lawrence. This one sounds really good to me. I'm so excited about this one, but it says 13-year-old Quinn Parker knows that there's something off about her neighbors. She calls them the oldies because they've lived on Goody Lane for as long as anyone can remember, but they never seem to age. So it sounds like, oh, there's something spooky with these neighbors. What's going on? Are they vampires? Are they aliens? What secrets are they keeping? And it's like the kids try to investigate to find out what's really going on. It sounds like it's got a little bit of like the Burbs kind of feel, which I absolutely love. If you've never seen the Burbs with Tom Hanks, go watch it. It's a great spooky movie. Not really scary at all. It's just like really funny and has a little bit of spooky element to it. I love the idea of there's something wrong with the neighbors. I love that kind of trope, so I'm down for this one for sure. Next is another YA middle grade, and it's called Sheets. It's actually like a graphic novel, but it's by Brenna Thumler. I'm sure you've heard about this. It's kind of been everywhere, but essentially we have a young girl who feels like a ghost. She's 13 years old. Life is hard, growing up is hard, and her family owns a laundry business. She has kind of been struggling, and she comes across a ghost named Wendell, and the ghost is kind of befriending her, explaining to her that there's purpose in life and how important it is to be a human and these kinds of things, and it's supposed to be really wholesome, and a lot of people are like, this is just a beautiful story. So I have been wanting to read this for a long time, and I really hope I get to it this year. Next is a YA thriller suspense called Field of Screams by Wendy Paris. It says that this is a new pulse-pounding supernatural mystery about 12-year-old Rebecca, who has always wanted to hunt ghosts until she meets one. So I love this cover. I feel like there's gonna be some good ambiance here, maybe like cornfields, something like that, to really play into the autumn Halloween vibes. I do think that there might be some good mystery and thrill here, so I'm excited about that. This next one is very much like a cozy, silly, you don't have to think so hard kind of book, and that is One Poison Pie by Lynn Cahoon. This is an adult fiction, but it says, set in a small town called Magic Springs, Idaho, Mia Malone could use a do-over. Dumped and unemployed, she finds herself in in a mystical town where witches and warlocks openly practice magic. She opens a gourmet diner delivery business, believing things are looking up. But when her first job results in the murder of her client, Mia soon learns that she is not only a suspect, but she may be the next on the killer's list. So it sounds like a really cozy mystery. It sounds like a good time. I'm excited about that. It sounds so cute. And this cover is awesome. I love the cauldrons above one. I love that. Next is a YA thriller romance mystery. I'm not super sure, but it's called These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. It says, Hannah's a witch, but not the kind you're thinking of. She's the real deal, an elemental with the power to control fire, earth, water, and air. But even though she lives in Salem, Massachusetts, her magic is a secret. She has to keep it to herself. If she's ever caught using it in front of a reg, aka non-witch, she could lose it for good. So Hannah spends most of her time avoiding her ex-girlfriend and fellow elemental witch, Veronica, and then hanging out with her best friend and working at the fly-by-night cauldron selling candles and crystals to tourists, goths, and local Wiccans. So that sounds like such a good time and so fun. I'm really excited about that. And I like how it's like an elemental witch. I think that's a little bit different and unique and a different kind of take on witchcraft. So I think that just sounds fun. Up next is, I'm fighting daylight, can you tell? But up next is How to Hang a Witch by Adriana Mather. This is a young adult mystery. It's the Salem Witch Trials meets Mean Girls in this debut novel from one of the descendants of Cotton Mather, where the trials of high school start to feel like a modern day witch hunt for a teen with all the wrong connections to Salem's past. So I love the Mean Girls, catty drama, girly drama there, and I'm always down for that when it comes to books. And this just sounds like a good one. I don't really know what ends up happening or what the mystery is exactly here, but I'm excited about it. Next is something that is really high on my wish list, and that is The Witches of New York by Amy McKay. Now, this has been out for a minute, and I've had it on my list for a while, but then I just haven't gotten to it, and I want to read it in autumn spooky season. So this one is an adult fantasy historical fiction. It's a dark, atmospheric, and feminist story of 3 women in New York City's Gilded Age, each determined to thrive in a society hell-bent on keeping them down and using their coven to do so. So we have the Gilded Age time, atmosphere, it's dark, and a feminist story about witches and multiple witches, and this sounds amazing to me. So I've heard really great things, and this is at the top of my list. I'm so excited to read this. Next up is something a little bit different for me. It's called The Witch House by Delamhach. I don't know how to say it, but it says that it's a humorous romantic fantasy, and it says it's a heartwarming and humorous blend of fantasy, romance, and mystery featuring a witch with domestic powers and the royal household he serves dinner. What? Okay. We have a witch who works for a royal family, like a king and queen. So it sounds like a funny mixture of a few things there. That's a great one to have on the list. Okay, the last one on the list, and I have to wrap this up because the sun is setting, but it is The Witches of Halloween Haven. This cover is so good. I love the title. It definitely feels spooky and perfect for Halloween. And it is on Kindle Unlimited if you have that. But it's by Jeff DeGordick. It says, 1 year has passed since the witch was killed for good. Everyone in town has moved on with their lives and started to forget all about that little house on the hill in the woods. But Halloween approaches and the evil always returns. So I think it sounds really interesting. I think it is supposed to be a tiny bit scary, but not really. And I love this. I love the cover. I love the vibes of this, and it sounds like a good one. I love the idea of there's a witch house left there after they went after the witch, but Halloween's coming around and she's gonna come after you. It says that she has family too. So we got some witch family coming to get revenge, maybe, perhaps. I don't know, we'll see. That sounds awesome. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching and watching this far. I hope that some of these books sounded interesting to you and that you're adding them to your list for fall or Halloween. If there were any, please let me know. Put them below to see what you are most excited about. Thank you so much for watching this far through. It means a lot. I am new to YouTube, so please like and subscribe. I will also be doing a ton of Halloween content, wish lists, TBRs, reviews, reading blogs, all the things. So yeah, I'm excited to spend that time with you all as well. So please subscribe if you're interested in that. And I can't wait to see you in a future video. I hope you have a spooky, lovely day.